Well, it's feeling really good out here. We're gonna mosey on in there a little bit, but I want to introduce a lady here who's joining us with her daughter. Her name is.
My name is Juanita Green, and this is my daughter,
Janelle Green.
Hi, how are both of you? You both look really good together. You can tell your mother and daughter. You look good.
Thank you so much. Well, we're from the Soundview area. I was raised on Commonwealth Avenue, and then moved to Classen Point. I lived in 1675, and that's where Janelle was born and raised. And it's just so much fun. I live in Ohio now. To come back to the community and hang out and go to the park activities, so it's great.
Nice. So you came from Ohio. So what do you miss most about Soundview?
Well, when I was coming up, it was more of a neighborhood, not the hood. Everybody looked out for everybody else. I mean, my mother knew Bubbles' mom and, the other people that I hung out with. And if I did something wrong and Miss Gaddy found out, then Miss Gaddy corrected me. She didn't have to wait for my mother. And we were a real community. We were neighbors. We helped each other out. We looked out for our children. So a lot of the communities are missing out on that now.
I agree, and I just think that's so important what you mentioned, that if you did something wrong, the neighbor is gonna say something. If you deface the property, you're gonna be there cleaning it up.
That's true. That's so true. And that's how my daughter was raised when we were on Commonwealth Avenue. She did something wrong.
I was raised by the community. By the time I got home, I was already in trouble. They knew, so.
So you thought twice about it.
Definitely thought twice. But yeah, the community raised me, and I grew up to be a fantastic person. So.
You look like a fantastic person. All right.
Y'all to thank for, so thank you.
David Santiago trajo la olla, Rebeca trajo el sofrito, pa' comenzar este fiestón. Los latinos envueltos en este ajiaco de sabor. Tú le pones la sazón, yo pongo la inspiración. ¿Cómo me voy a olvidar de la sazón de mi abuela? Cuando solía preparar el arroz con habichuelas. Mamá Cecilia, pongo la inspiración. Un ceviche del Perú, de Cuba, moro y cristiano.
Here I have a special guest that traveled here all the way from
Tampa, Florida. Yeah, Tampa, Florida.
Like my mother. I think my mother said she met you somewhere.
Actually, I was having a garage sale and she came, and that's how we met and we hadn't seen each other in about maybe 35 years.
Wow, talk about a small world at a garage sale.
Yes, it was surprising, but I was glad we found each other after so many years.
Wow, that's amazing. So introduce yourself. What is your name?
My name is Annette Garcia. I was born and raised in the Bronx, New York, in Soundview Projects, where I had all my friends growing up, and I didn't know about the reunion that occurred every year until about 3 years ago. And I started driving down from Florida because, of course, I don't fly. So we drove down to join in the reunion, which means so much to us with all my childhood grown-up friends.
So you grew up in Soundview during the same years that you moved in the 50s to Soundview?
Right. Actually, my mother moved there before I was even born, so we were in Soundview for many years. I would say about 25 years. Actually, they had just built it when my mother moved in there. She said there were still cows by the handball courts. So she moved there, and then we were all born there. I have 5 siblings.
So you come from a big family as well. And do you have a big family now?
I have 4 children, and I have 5 grandkids. We're 2 on the way, so I'll be 7 grandkids.
Wow, congratulations. And you're all in Florida now?
They're all in Florida, right. My oldest is 19, my grandson, and my youngest is 18 months.
So let me ask you, what does this reunion remind you of? What does it represent to you? And obviously, you have a lot of relationships here, and that's why you drive that 1,500-mile hike up here.
Yes, it means a lot to me. Growing up, as we all got together and played, and actually Soundview Project is very big. You got Rosedale, Randall, Stewart Avenue. So we played with everyone, and I knew everyone from each side of the projects. And it's so good to see faces again that you hadn't seen for so many years, and get together in this special occasion and reminisce and talk about the old good times and of what our future is now, and what occurred and what we're doing now. And so it really means a lot to me. That's why I do make that journey, 1,600 miles.
So I know like social media plays a big key in keeping those communications and finding those people that, you haven't seen in ages, right?
Right. It was actually Lisa. We didn't know anything. So Lisa communicates with us on Facebook and lets us know everything that's going on, and that's how we communicate with one another, and I find out the dates and everything that is occurring, so come down for that.
Yeah, Lisa Archibald is one of the key people on the committee. I believe there's at least 10 people on the committee. They also have like politicians, community groups, and the police department that they work with. And it takes a lot of preparation, at least a whole year. Once this is over, they start from scratch again, working on the next year's events and just trying to keep it, exciting, and trying to spread the word to get new people, because every year there's a new face. And here we have Lucy Feliciano, who just so happens to be my titi, my aunt.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. You're looking good, titi.
Thank you.
Well, I would like you to share something from your childhood growing up in Soundview.
I was very blessed to grow up in Soundview. It was a good life. There was a whole group of guys and girls all the same age, and all we did was play, make up games. Today everybody, plays video games, but we used to play games that we made up. Ringalivio, Johnny and the Pony, Red Light, Green Light, 1, 2, 3. And, we would turn on the Johnny pump and, because there wasn't a pool. So we would get under the fire. What would you call it?
The pump? But I heard that there was a pool. Maybe you were too young to remember.
It was like an inch high. Well, a foot high. So it really wasn't a pool, but for us, since it was little, it was. But then again, if you fell, it hurt. It wasn't like when you go in a pool and you're full of water, you float. If you fall, you don't get hurt. But the pool where we live, it was all concrete. But
you come from a family of 8. You were the baby out of 8 children. Your parents came here from Puerto Rico, namely my grandfather, her father, and he came here alone. In the 50s, he had 5 kids in Puerto Rico, and until he could save enough to send for the other 5 kids, he had 3 more kids with my grandmother, Lucy being one of them, who was the baby, and she was spoiled.
no, I wasn't spoiled. My sister, however, would pick on me because I took her place. I wasn't spoiled. I was a good kid.
I know. But what do you remember? I mean, like, you had all these families, you got together, like, everybody looked out for one another. What do you miss the most about that area?
Well, the community, the whole neighborhood took care of you. And if you did something bad, they tell your parents, or if they tell you that we're going to knock you upside your head, they did, and it was okay. Today, they want to put you in jail and, call child abuse. However, most of us got knocked up inside our head or hit by the belt, and we grew up to be pretty good adults,
And respecting one another, and communicating with other kids. I think that's what is lacking today, with all the social media and video games. Like, kids are not like so readily going outside and talking with their friends as much and hanging out and, just playing outside as back in the day, right?
Yeah, basically, everybody cared about everybody else. Today, they won't even give up a seat for, you know, an elderly person on the bus or on the train. In the old days, you know, we would stand and we would have to give our seat up. Today, they are planning on giving you a fine if you don't get up for an elderly person. It was a really good time. I love living in Soundview. I feel like I had the best childhood ever, you know?
You had a great family, because I'm part of that family.
Yeah, I'm the baby of 8. It's great, you know? I'm not saying I'm spoiled, but it's good being an aunt. I got a lot of nieces and nephews, so I'm able to tell them what to do.